Welcome to 5 Minutes with Phil, the show where I talk about random stuff, but mostly myself. Right now, 3kliksphilip does CSGO stuff, 2kliksphilip does other stuff, and this kliksphilip channel also does other stuff, but mostly behind the scenes content about my life. But these topics can overlap, and often do. Normally involving 2kliksphilip because he's stuck in the middle. 2kliksphilip did a CSGO frag video recently, which would just as easily have gone on 3kliksphilip. And I posted The Neighbour Upstairs on kliksphilip because it was based on a real life thing that happened, but with hindsight, it would probably have been much better suited on 2kliksphilip instead. And finally, this video you're watching right now was intended for 2kliksphilip, even though it's as kliksphilipy as is possible to make. I guess if you look at the recent stuff this channel has made, you might mistake kliksphilip as being a coronavirus channel, and I apologise about that. But I don't regret making the series, as I think it will only get more interesting with age, but the unfortunate result of this is that this channel has lost its original meaning. So that's what this series is all about. About giving you 5 minutes of Phil a day. Right now I'm sure you have burning questions like, will it always be 5 minutes long? Which I guess you as the viewer will be able to check out right now, while I'm just busy spewing verbal diarrhea at my screen and trying to make it turn into some kind of coherent script, while getting continually sidetracked by random stuff like, how exactly do you spell diarrhea? Normally I'd edit this stuff out and leave it for another video, but this is 5 minutes with Phil, so it's well within my rights to go off on a tangent about poo, even if this is the first episode and will be the one that most people will watch to see if this is the series for them. I'm pretty good at spelling, but diarrhea is one word that I know will forever defeat me. I know it starts with a D and probably ends with an A, but everything between is a mystery. There's an H in there somewhere as well, which I imagine goes near the beginning, but actually it's closest to the end. But even with all this fantastic knowledge, it's still hit and miss whether spellcheck will even know that I'm trying to spell diarrhea. And when I checked just then, Microsoft Word disagreed with Google search, and I realised that it's one of those words that Americans spell differently to English people. So as an English YouTuber who's forever being corrected by Americans, there's absolutely no hope for me. I'm just going to accept that I'm never going to be comfortable with diarrhea. Let's move on. When I started out with YouTubing, I saw it as an exciting profession, limitless potential and freedom to create whatever I wanted to. Having done it for years, it no longer feels quite like that, and apparently from talking to other people, they've never seen it like that either. So the question I'm asked more than any other is, how do you think up new ideas? Like, isn't that obvious? If you have a passion about something, then it's easy to talk about it. I actually get offended by that question, because it must either mean that they must think my content is boring, or that I'm boring. Thing is, I have made over 1,000 videos now. I've done the easy pickings and now mostly find myself working on smaller ideas that I didn't think I could make a whole video from. But when I start typing up the script for it, I quickly realise that I have a lot more to say about it than I thought. Sometimes they'll overlap a topic that I've already talked about before going off in some new random direction. So no, I don't think I'll ever run out of ideas, but do worry that with a series that talks about anything, it will reveal to myself just how boring I am. It already happens where I talk to people only for them to be like, yeah, you talked about this in the video before. And that's a scary moment, when you realise how much seemingly spontaneous conversation is often just regurgitating something from several years ago. I already worry that I'm going to repeat something I've already covered, because remember that I have made over 1,000 videos now. I've done the easy pickings and now mostly find myself working on smaller ideas that I didn't think I could make a whole video from. But when I start typing up the script for it, I quickly realise that I have a lot more to say about it than I thought. Sometimes they'll overlap a topic that I've already talked about before going off in some new random direction, especially with this kliksphilip channel where I'm just talking about myself. At least 2 and 3kliksphilip can spend their time researching and learning about new stuff, which lessens the problem of repetition somewhat. And as boring as those Let's Play channels might be, at least they always have new games to play. And is repetition even such a bad thing? 3kliksphilip started talking about Counter-Strike, yet continues to be my most successful channel. 2kliksphilip starts a series that everybody seems to like. And then he gets bored of it and moves on to something else. That can't be doing much to help his channel's growth. And this is where 5 Minutes with Phil comes in, for kliksphilip. Yes, it's about random stuff, but you know what you're getting. You're getting 5 Minutes with Phil, every day until I either run out of ideas, or until I get bored of it and move on to something else again. I don't know why I settled on 5 minutes. 3 would be easier for you to cram into your daily routine. 8 would have been much better from a monetization standpoint. 10 would be long enough to last a mealtime. But maybe it's best not to worry about all that. Better just to jump in and to make something, and to worry about the details later on. You'll notice the video for this episode has been boring. That wasn't just because I'm being lazy, but also to let you do something with these 5 minutes. Juggle, or do sit-ups. This podcast could be like the start of a weird cult or something. For me, the best outcome I see with this series is that it's entertaining enough to last at least a month, and might help me to come up with other video ideas that I can then justify dedicating full videos to, or even a spin-off series of some sort. And even if it doesn't, you can have a good laugh at a doomed series.